What's up, all you weirdos? What's going on? I said I was gonna come back, but there were people doing what people do, whispering and talking and yelling and screaming and I don't know, just being in the way of things happening. that's been the it's funny all day long. It's happened 4 times, and it's literally occurring somewhat right now. So like everywhere I'm trying to be at to do these little videos, there's some sort of disturbance. At my house, when I was doing my first video this morning, the broadcast kept getting shut off, like it was like interrupted. Then I came here and I was doing a video earlier and sitting inside. Well, I was sitting inside, and then a couple people were very just bad energy, and so I was like, oh, I'll go outside. And so I came outside, and I was when I started to do a video, and they came outside. I was like, oh, amazing. And then 2 more times after that, just I tried to record another video, and I sat down, and some people were just being very American, being very baseball-y. And I thought it was funny because I was sitting next door having a drink at a bar, and apparently people love baseball for whatever reason. I'm not sure, because baseball is just one of the most pathetically bizarre, absurd. It's not even a game. It's definitely not a sport. It's barely a game, and it's so American in so many ways. It's people just walk. Yeah, somebody hits a ball, and like everybody else just stands around scratching their nuts, thinking they did something important. People are all excited and screaming about it. Like, man, people are more excited about this silly game than they are about anything that's really going on in the real world in their actual life. It's such a pathetic sport. Game, whatever it is. To me, there's nothing worse than baseball. To me, nothing worse. Like golf. Golf has reason. Darts has a reason. Baseball is just a bunch of it's a soulless, empty blasphemy of the spirit of humanity event. What's up, people? Get that out of my system. It's baseball is like, you know, everything about it, like eating hot dogs, baseball. It's so very bizarre. It's such a standing around doing shit. People slapping each other in the ass, applauding each other, thinking they're doing something great. What is this? What's going on here? You know, baseball is the dumbest shit out going. I mean, like, I don't even know. Like, baseball is stupid shit. That's all there is really to it. Oh, you got a notification. I came here way late because I actually had this. Daniel Drew, you got a notification. I came way later. Like this was posted like an hour and a half ago. I was trying to come out here, and there were people sitting out here doing like mad whispery things. You know, like people that just like they whisper. Like, oh man, I can tell like immediately. Like there's no reason for them to whisper at all whatsoever, but they're whispering. I'm like, oh, you guys are awful people. You're plotting on someone, or you're like talking shit. Like people that just can't like just say what they have to. Oh man, baseball and whispering. That's you know. And think about baseball. They always got their glove up there, just like whispering something like, I'm gonna throw a ball in a minute, and the guy's gonna try to hit it. Let me see if I can get the ball by him where he doesn't hit it. Imagine that. Yeah. You woke up watching baseball, so you woke up to a nightmare? Thank you, Lion Strong. Go baseball. Go whatever that is. Yeah. It is LA versus Houston. Yeah, there does seem probably some. There's obviously parallels and significance in the how the sports are diagrammed. It's running a same storyline with a larger perspective that's going on. So yeah, it's all in there. I don't know how they can steer baseball, as much. I mean, unless they always know what pitch is coming, because all you'd have to do is like, okay, the next 3 pitches that are coming. You're pretty, if you know where the ball is going to be, you can hit it. But yeah, I digress on the idiocy of baseball. The only thing worse than baseball players, like people that play baseball, are baseball fans, because like level of like how bizarre and absurd and ridiculous, like to sit around for hours watching baseball. And I was inspired, I'm watching people watch baseball and seeing how like they're really, yeah, go guy, look at that guy's I'm like, really? This guy's, oh, look at this little cockroach here. What up, little cockroach? There's more entertainment in watching a cockroach run around than there is watching a baseball game. Baseball is pathetic. Yeah, you got to watch out. You could get hit with the baseball. Yeah, Stephen Coe. Yeah, aren't all sports like that? Yeah, they are. But I think there's some level of value and entertainment in, say, the artistic sports, like the ones like soccer. There's obviously a high level of teamwork, a passion, etc., etc. Yeah, it's turned into a point of like, I can't stand watching the shit because the amount of bullshit ass tripping over nothing and crying about things. I hate that. But the sport itself used to be great. Football, I think there's something interesting about. Golf is an amazing game. Tennis is a wonderful game, a wonderful sport. But baseball, in and of itself, is the just man. But hey, I don't know. Maybe I was just never smart enough or cool enough or strong enough to play baseball. Maybe that was my problem. Oh shit. Daniel Drury got hit with a line drive from the coach. Yeah, I guess that's why he was coaching, that's why he was coaching, what do they call it? Like, so they got like pee-wee football. So they got like whatever in baseball. Damn, getting hit with a line drive. I knew a lot of people that got hit with line drives. I knew a lot of people that did. Every other person that played baseball was like, they got their getting hit in the face with a baseball story. Like, what a weird game. Like, getting hit. Like, I don't know. Basketball is an amazing sport. Takes talent, athleticism, teamwork. There's a whole lot going on there. You have to be in shape to be able to play that game. Baseball, you could be sitting there. It's the only thing that you can do. You can actually be eating. You can eat while doing the thing. You can just throw some food in your mouth, and there's no other thing you can do that in. It wouldn't work. I'm going on a little 9-minute rampage on how baseball is the consciousness, the level of awareness of and that's the nation, American versus the National League. I don't get it. Sports is like church, Aldrin. Mr. Bizzles, you play baseball? I mean, I don't want to tell you, man. I hope you enjoy that. To me, I've already ranted on enough about that. Usually people that play baseball are like just a step above people that play lacrosse. Like if you play lacrosse, you're a giant prick. Like there's pretty much goes hand in hand. Or baseball, like you can kind of get away with if you do other things too that are active. You just happen to play baseball because it was the off season. But baseball is, hey, to each their own though. What I'm not the commissioner. I'm not the commish out here. I'm not here to tell anybody what to like or not like. I just find it idiotic and redundant. Yeah, you can just stand out there just waiting like, huh, what am I doing here? You just stand there. It's actually, I take it all back. It's a very meditative, everything about it. You could stand there and do nothing literally for an hour and 20 minutes. The only thing you got to do is actually run out to your position, then run back. You might never even see a ball come to you. All the training that must go into that, So what are we doing? What are we talking about here? Why did I come back out here? I had a whole thing going on about 2 hours ago of what I wanted to talk about, and then I got stuck in a bar watching sport, watching the television, and I was just kind of meditating on the people's focus and intensity and the cheeseburgers dripping off the face and the excitement over someone swinging a bat at a ball, and like I was amused by their amusement. It was like Inception. Too broke to play lacrosse or hockey. Yeah, hockey's up there too with skating around. Put a couple knives on your feet. Put knives on your feet, and then go find a frozen turd and smash it around with a stick. It's a weird sport. And I mean, it takes a lot of skills and talents. I mean, I love going into a hockey game, but like to think about it, like in the grand scheme of things, like that could only really truly exist in a very cold climate. Not really, and all the pads you got to put on, the preparation, the whole thing. Like, man. Unstance, you used to just throw the bat at people. That's amazing. I would assume you would do something like that. Daniel Jury used to play football, baseball, track, basketball. Yeah. Oh shit, that's hilarious. So you just ran. See, that was funny because I was very fast, and people wanted me to be on the track team because I played football and soccer, but I couldn't if there wasn't a ball involved. If there wasn't some sort of purpose to it outside of if there wasn't some team shit going on, like running to me was like, no way. I can't just run. I could run all day if there's something to do, if there's an amusement involved. But yeah, that's interesting. Zet Chrono, you always gotta throw out the foul language, Zet. Yeah, college football can be fun to watch. Yeah, Mr. Bizzles, you telling people were they too distracted by everything else that was going on to even understand that they were being distracted by sports? When you're telling them, they're like, they're on their phone, like being distracted by the sports scores as you're telling them they're too distracted. Nathan Weller, thank you. Yes, you know what's up. And again, it's not. Remember, the worst part. I thought you said the worst sport. Yeah, but it is the worst sport. Yeah, competitive eating. I know what an amazing thing that is. Let's do something that everyone does and some people can't do because they can't afford it, and just over consume. It's genius. To call that a sport is like mind-boggling. Yeah, during the commercials. Oh man, that's the best. See, and listening to all the commercials and the commentators are just blow my like I just mind blowing every time, because I'm thinking these games happen. What is there, 162 games in baseball, and then all of the other ones, and this has been going on for years. So there's 162 games with 32 teams. So we're talking thousands and thousands of games a year, and these commentators, the audacity of asking the same redundant questions again and again, and to think the commentators and then the announcers that are like trying to make it sound like there's some sort of logic and some sort of like what's going on and who's gonna win this game and here's why. Like in baseball, if baseball's not complete, if baseball the game as it sits is not completely rigged, all that matters is who happens to hit the ball more. There's no rhyme or reason. There's no managing a game. There's none of that bullshit. That's all lies. And they're gonna sit out here like, well, I think the first game is gonna go to this team, and the second game will go to this team because it takes. No, they're just standing there hitting a fucking ball. That's all there is to it. And if they can't do that, then you know that's their job. They have one job that they do. What? Every day, 8 hours a day. And that's what that one thing. If you had to be good at doing one thing, you'd be extra good at it. and you got these announcers out here talking all of this nonsense about, oh well, you know, what's going through someone's and the players today. They're really, here's what they're thinking about and what's going into blah, blah, like. No, they're doing the same thing they do every day. It's like it's like cooking a fucking. You know, cooking a cheeseburger. This is what you do. You put the thing there, you flip it over, it's done. There's no like, hey, we're better today and they're worse tomorrow, and it's none of that. It's just in the real game. If you have 18 people out there playing the game, you know, you got the 9 on each team, whatever. It's just who hits the ball more today. They're all equally as talented. They're all equally as skilled. Someone's going to just be a little more lucky. That's all there is to it. But, yeah. But competitive eating, that's a fun one, huh? Yeah. Oh, Mr. Bill, then you get to fantasy football, yeah. That's fantasy football is Inception, you know? It's like there's this shit that doesn't really matter and nobody really cares about in the grand scheme of things, that it's like other than the fantasy of it, and then we're going to play a fantasy game beneath that. Like, man, I played fantasy football one year. Yeah, isn't it funny they call it a brainwash when it's not really brainwashing, but quite the opposite? If you were to get, I brainwash people. You know, old Billy Hartbeing brainwashes people. Savan Bomar brainwashes people. We're washing your fucking brains. That shit ain't brainwashing. That's the opposite. But they confuse you. They tell you the opposite. You're getting brainwashed. No, your brain is getting filled with a bunch of things that don't matter to the real to the real you, to the real world, to what's going on, and to like better anything. That's the opposite of washing. Exactly. Yeah, Lions drawing the elite ruin sports. Well, yeah, they're that, and what's called Vegas, and what's called capitalism. Capitalism ruined sports. The fact that somebody could get paid to do what a child does for fun. You know, capitalism is what ruins art. Capitalism is why good artists they work in the media to sell shit products. You have a great artist doing great artwork to sell shit to the masses, so they become accomplice to actually brain fucking people. So in sports, what we find is it should be this wonderful thing. I think, you know, just like the Olympics used to be, just like sports should be. It'd be wonderful. I think, you know, everyone would watch sports if it wasn't plagued with gambling, and if it wasn't plagued with the amount of money going into it. If it was like everyone was paid $100K a year, everybody was taken care of, blah blah blah, and this would be an interesting sport. All of them would be. It'd be more competitive. It'd be truthful. It would be it'd be what they talk about sports to be, a real development and you know, the epic, the human spirit and how we strive to cooperate as a team and battle against another. You know, that's great and wonderful. But as soon as money got slipped in there, oh, different things happen. To think that all sports aren't rigged, people are brain dead to think sports aren't rigged. 92% of sports are rigged. The more money in it, the more chance it's rigged. The less money, yeah, you might get away from a few amateur boxing bouts, but once you get into the higher levels, ain't a chance. Ain't the people in Vegas with billions of dollars on an event risking money. They're not risking money. They own the sports. And especially when you get into, like, go read the book about the baseball guy that was talking about how sports were rigged. And basically there's been a couple people that have actually had lawsuits against the Major League Baseball and football, and they lost the lawsuits, citing that the ticket was actually a ticket to a show, and that basically saying, wink wink, nod nod, you know, this is a show. It don't matter what you think. You bought a ticket to a circus act. Lionstone, you were planning on being in the NBA? You had a plan about it, or you actually can play ball? Or are you just being funny? I mean, the overseas leagues, there's a lot of leagues that are worth less, that are a little less controlled. Skateboarding. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, skateboarding is a little less controlled, but I don't know if we can call X Games sports at this point, but yeah, skateboarding is rad as fuck, man. I mean, yeah, it's brilliant shit, but we need more matrices inside of matrices. Yeah, ping pong is alright. I knew a cat that was a professional ping pong player. I went and watched him play like professional ping pong. It was pretty intense. Yo, the NFL is an extremely obviously easily rigged sport that you don't even need to have control of everyone, but you just have to have a couple key players. Who's touching the ball the most? That's all you need to know. Super Champion Rocker. I can't believe that pro wrestling would be fixed. Yeah, the portal, the S port. Yeah, cricket is a fun one. I like cricket. Cricket's a cool little game. So check it out, y'all. It's a little chilly out here, and I only came on here just to rant on this baseball thing. But there's a small possibility when I get back to my cribbles, to my domicile, to my domain, that I'll jump back on here and have something more creative to say, rather than just rant and rave for 25 minutes about baseball sucking a giant moose genital. So, yeah, y'all. Always, have a beautiful night, inspire the world, do cool things, and if you can, jump on here and I'll probably be home in 45 minutes. See what happens. Stay well.